So how did I become a self-aware narcissist? And of course, if you're new here, I'm actually clinically diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So y'all, I got a bunch of new followers and I have to do one of these update videos every once in a while. Yes, I have narcissistic personality disorder. I have been in intense psychotherapy since October of 2017. Although I was not born with this personality disorder, I have been hyper aware of who I am and how I felt different internally since I was about 8 or 9 years old. Honestly, it's like I woke up when I was 8 years old on my 8th or 9th birthday. I cannot remember, y'all. And since that moment of me waking up at 8 or 9 years old on my birthday, I've been trying to figure out who I was. You know, I have a twin brother. No, he's not a narcissist, but I've been using my twin brother to try to emulate him, try to act like him, try to be like him for a very, very long time. That's how I learned how to fit in. You know, that's how I learned how to be a human and whatnot. I said human like I'm an alien or something. But like I said, since a very young age, I've always felt like I was different. Like my emotions didn't click like everybody else's. Like I didn't feel the same way that everybody else felt. I didn't act the same way that everybody else acted. And I just knew it, y'all. I've always known it. Now, I didn't have a word for it, but I just always knew I was different. But you know, society nowadays and back in the day, they just tell you that everybody's different. Everybody's special in their own way. So I just thought I was special. I thought I was different in just my own unique little way. And I just had to learn how to behave and learn how to act and whatnot. So going through life, I started mirroring people that I've been around, people that I learned, like people, my friends, family members who I've been around with, who I grew up with. I started to pick up on the personality characteristics and traits of theirs that I liked and admired, or that I was jealous of. If I was jealous of you being smart and whatever, or being just funny or whatever, I would pick up on that and I would start to behave like you. I would get around you and start to act like you. I became very good at mirroring other people as I was growing up. Like I said before, I've always wanted to kind of, be normal and act normal and fit in. So what does normal look like? Grow up, get married, go to school, have kids, whatever. That's what normal people do, right? So I did all of that, right? Had a kid, got in a relationship, and all the other good stuff, right? But that didn't change how I felt internally. I still felt weird internally. I still felt disconnected internally and whatnot. And all my relationships kept ending the same exact way, y'all. Since I was like 17, 18 years old, all my relationships, I would be madly in love with somebody. And then one day I'll wake up and like the lights went off in the relationship. I'll wake up and you'll be like, what the hell am I doing with this person? Like, why am I with this person? Why am I with you? Like, it just felt weird, you know what I mean? And I'm the kind of like super cowardice type of person that I wouldn't necessarily break up with people. I would make them break up with me. You know, I would do the reverse discard and just treat them badly enough, start disconnecting enough so they would just be fed up and break up with me. That's how all my relationships ended when I was younger, right? But after I got married and had my other son, I was like, this is in 2017, me and my wife got into a huge argument, right? Like she had left one day and I was watching my little son and I was just so frustrated and I was not where I was in life. Look, y'all, I hit my rock bottom. I was not where I was in life. Financially, I was overweight. I was like 300 pounds. Teeth was messed up. I was not where I wanted to be. I hated looking at myself, but I always find a way to blame someone else. And in that moment in time, I was blaming my little 4 or 5 month old son for holding me back. So I was yelling and screaming at my 5-month-old son, which I'm not proud of, but I'm just telling y'all my story. My wife came home. Me and her got into an argument. And, I told her to get the hell out. What are you doing here? Bye. I can replace you. You're replaceable, right? So she left. And on her way out the door, she called me a narcissist. She said, it's so damn hard living with a narcissist. And you know what I mean? I'm just like, narcissist? You're a narcissist. You know what I mean? Just, I was like, it takes you forever to get ready. You got to put on makeup. I can get ready in 5 minutes. I'm helpful. Blah, blah, blah. So she left. And when she left, I'm sitting there angry as hell, like wondering why she called me a narcissist. I was like, why the hell you use that word? Because narcissist to me just meant cocky. It just means conceited or whatever, right? I can't help the way I look. That's how I felt, y'all. I was just like, I can't help the way I look. I ain't ugly. I can't help the way I look. Rah, 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 rah. But I was so, it's funny to me now. I was so angry. I got on Google. I put in the word narcissist. And, Google autofills will give you suggestions. It's like, did you mean narcissistic personality disorder? And I'm like, I didn't mean that, but let's figure out what this is. Let's go down this rabbit hole and whatnot. So I click on it and pops up, boom. Narcissistic personality disorder, the definition of it, the signs, the symptoms, the traits. And guess what? All the traits of narcissistic personality disorder were answers to the questions I had been asking myself since I was 8 or 9 years old on why I felt different, why my empathy was so low, why my emotional connectivity to other people was so low, why I felt different right there in front of me. So I knew I was a narcissist at that moment right there. At that moment in time, I knew it. I was like, damn, this is who I am. So there was a level of acceptance for me right then and there that most narcissists won't have because they push back against it. I had been searching for answers, and I found those answers in narcissistic personality disorder, right? So after realizing that I was a narcissist, in fact, before I even went to therapy, I got online, joined some self-aware narcissist Facebook groups back in the day, and then they told me how to get a therapist. Get on this website called psychologytoday.com, and this is the very first email that I sent, October 2017. Hi, my therapist's name, redacted. I just wanted to see about possible counseling. I'm 99.5% certain that I have NPD, and since becoming aware of it, it's become almost unbearable. Constant inner battle every day is tiresome and exhausting. Yes, I'm so glad that my therapist actually responded to me and allowed me to come into the office to talk to her and whatnot, because a lot of people say when you think you're a narcissist, that automatically means you're not one. I knew I was one, so it's not always true. And I'm not saying that to make you just think, because you might think you're a narcissist, that you obviously are, or anything like that. I'm just making you, hey, just think outside the box sometimes. So I went to therapy, got diagnosed with NPD, and I think a lot of people ask me, like, how did you feel when you got diagnosed? Did it make you feel a certain type of way? Did it hurt your feelings? Were you surprised? Were you shocked? Like, y'all, I already knew, so it's kind of a little shock, but I already knew. Like I said, I already knew. I was ready to accept it, and at least I knew what I had going on. You know, and I made a commitment to myself that I was going to keep going to therapy. My wife didn't make me go to therapy. I didn't go to therapy for my kid. Literally, I'm selfish with my healing so I can be selfless to other people. So I can be selfless along the way, you know, because it doesn't work. So I've been in therapy since that date, since October of 2017. So coming up on 7 years here. And the reason that therapy works for me and it doesn't work for most narcissists is because I actually trust my therapist, and I'm actually trying to work on myself and trying to get better. Whereas most narcissists, they go to therapy are just looking for an excuse to continue their abuse cycles. They're looking to play the victim. They go to therapy, play the victim. They go to marriage counseling with you, play the victim. I'm not about that. I'm not trying to play the victim anymore. It's actually enjoyable to be me. You know, I used to run from myself and be hide from who I really was, but it's actually enjoyable to be the real, authentic version of me, because I don't have to hide. You know, everybody knows I'm a narcissist, but that doesn't mean I'm an evil person. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. And this is one thing that I've had to accept, that just being a narcissist doesn't automatically mean you're a bad person. Doing the bad things make you a bad person. And a lot of people ask me, have I gotten better since I've been in therapy for so long, dealing with NPD? And this is from June of last year. Supporting documents from my therapist. He said, my first name is Damon. Y'all can pause to read, but it just says over the last few years, I've seen, you know, I've been in therapy. I have to stay in therapy, whatever. You know, I've seen a decrease in my emotional dysregulation, anxiety, and depression symptoms, as well as a growth in wellness of his interpersonal relationship and impact on the community. So yes, she knows what I'm doing on social media and stuff like that as well. So yes, I made big changes over the last few years, and I'm proud of myself. And a lot of people are proud of me because I've used my platform to help thousands of people along their mental health, self-awareness journeys and whatnot, y'all. And yes, I've made the commitment to be in therapy for the rest of my life. I like therapy. Therapy helps me. Therapy helps me. Therapy allows me a place to vent and whatnot. So if you're feeling weird, you're feeling indifferent, you feel like nobody cares, go to therapy. Get help. It worked out for me because I allowed it to work out for me. And I'll end it with this right here, y'all. My therapy journey is different than most people's, honestly. So if you see self-aware narcissists on here, on any platform, it doesn't mean that they're working on themselves. And a lot of them are still horrible people behind the scenes. I'll just leave it at that. So yes, I do have narcissistic personality disorder. This is my story. This is not for you if you're dealing with a narcissist, toxic person. It's not for you to just like, oh, I have hope they're going to change. I'm going to ask them to go to therapy. They have to want to do that themselves, and they have to make a long-term commitment to doing it and trying to get better and trying to work on themselves. Because otherwise, it's just literally, it doesn't work without them being committed and being open and honest and vulnerable in therapy. If you made it this far, y'all, like I said, make sure to check out my YouTube channel for longer videos. I have support groups and courses and all that other good stuff. Link is in the description. Every video I do. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video. Peace.